Now, some of these heroes from this tier list will remain in their current position, and others will completely fall off, such as Awakened Ezizh and Awakened Talene. Now, there are certain aspects that determine whether they are meta and game-changing for any account that builds this specific hero. And this includes these three aspects. If any of these Awakened heroes have two out of these three aspects, they will be game-changing for any account. So the first aspect is immunity to damage. Now, immunity to damage currently can only be procced by Brutus over here, where essentially he becomes immune to damage for a couple of seconds so that he can keep on dealing damage, controlling the enemies, and being as effective as he possibly can. Now, the next aspect is cheat death. Now, a couple of these heroes already have it, such as Awakened Solise through sacrificing the apparitions, Awakened Baden, where he sacrifices his clone. Then we have Awakened Talene, who essentially revives for a couple of times for the entire duration of battle. Now, it doesn't matter how much damage reduction you have, even if you have 99% damage reduction, that 1% could be so significant that it will be able to one-shot your hero irrespective of your damage reduction. This goes in case for Awakened Thane and Awakened Ezizh, where if the enemy hero has enough burst, this will essentially one-shot the Awakened Thane or Awakened Ezizh during the damage reduction phase, or the ability that gives them damage reduction. And the third aspect is a unique ability. So what this means is the hero needs to have a certain ability or toolkit that they are built around that makes them extremely effective at what they do. So for example, let's have a look at Awakened Thane. Now there's another hero that has a similar toolkit to Awakened Thane, being Yorin. Both of them have their immediate teleport to their enemy hero, and they consistently deal a massive amount of damage to one specific enemy hero. However, Thane has a bit more damage reduction compared to Yorin, and this allows him to essentially be slightly stronger in this aspect. In addition, if he's paired up with the correct teammates, he can be pushed even higher and be more effective at what he does at sniping and one-shotting enemies. The next hero with a unique ability is Awakened Baden. Now, Awakened Baden has a cheat death where essentially he is immune, or essentially he sacrifices his clone in order to survive the ability or the damage that will be inflicted upon him that would essentially one-shot him. And this essentially allows him to survive for 7 times this cheat death through the entire duration of battle. This is extremely powerful, and no other hero currently has this similar ability like Awakened Baden. Now, I didn't mention anything with regards to damage. The reason why, in the next patch, they could release, for example, a hero that does 10% more damage than Awakened Belinda, and all of a sudden, Awakened Belinda will become irrelevant irrespective of what other abilities she may have. That is the reason why, if you have 2 out of the 3 aspects that I mentioned, this hero will become meta irrespective of the damage or the specific abilities that they may have. These are my predictions for Awakened heroes. Currently released Awakened heroes have been a game changer for AFK Arena. They have bridged the gap between the 4 faction heroes and the Celestial Pogian faction. They are extremely diverse in where they can be used and the teams that they fit in. So let's discuss the direction that these heroes are headed in. The first thing that is being addressed is the acquisition of the Time Emblem tickets. We have seen them added to the guild store where you can acquire 10 Time Emblem tickets for 80,000 guild coins. This is a fantastic addition to this area of the game. Then 50 cards have been added as well each time a new Awakened hero is released, where a certain amount of players are required to ascend this new hero to the tier of Ascended tier. And it is planned that more cards will be available and will be added to the Thrilling Voyage. This is a step in the right direction. I think more places where these cards can be acquired from is a positive for the community. They can be added to the Labyrinth store. An additional row can be added to the Misty Valley treasure trove, where campaign chapter completion is required. These are only some of the many places that these time event tickets can be added. Most of the heroes that are released from the Awakened faction or tier become top tier as soon as they get released, which is normal as the meta changes. The reason why they become meta is that their investment ceiling is similar to the Celestial and Hypogeans. However, their fifth ability, which is a round-wide buff, where all allied heroes can proc this special ability as long as the awakened hero is alive. This elevates them past any Celestial and Hypogean in the game. This ability in some cases can make them vastly more powerful than any other hero. Due to this, as more awakened heroes get released, we will be in a situation where there will be at least one awakened hero per team. This is already evident from PvP teams such as Awakened Brutus and the Dimensional Stack, Awakened Thane and the Light Bearers, Awakened Baden and Auna, and finally Awakened Solise with the Energy Cycle based team. This is just one area of the game where they are slowly but surely becoming an extremely powerful addition to the roster. This might cause a disparity where an event can only be completed if said awakened hero is built. The next issue is the double or triple stacking of awakened heroes per team, where you have one being the damage dealer, one being the support, and the other one being used for the realm-wide buff. This goes back to my previous point, where certain heroes are required to pass an event. Many players will miss out on the experience of completing the event, such as the story, rewards, and the challenge of defeating the final boss. These are my current predictions, and we will have to wait and see what comes next.